Owl Talks from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and it's an absolute nothing burger. Then we get a new word in real estate called balanced. God knows who made that up. And we're going to hear today from the Bank of America on their housing market update. What they think is going to happen this year, at least the rest of the year. Those and more on Real Estate Daily. Welcome everyone, and this is Troy, back from the vacay from Washington, D.C. I'm going to give you the latest and greatest in the housing, real estate, and mortgage markets. Now, before we begin here, let's go ahead and hit that, subscribe button. Beep, 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 right there. Thank you, producer Emmy.
Welcome.
Yes. And we are excited about some of the news articles, but as usual, they're all over the map. And as you noticed, we're just going to see the news pick and choose which ones they want to talk about and which ones they just slide underneath the rug and you won't hear about it. Only hear about it here. So let's jump right into it. This is on CNBC. It's signs of stabilization. It says housing market outlook. We're on track to see home prices up 10 to 15% this year, says Bank of America Jenna Kuro. Now, this is very interesting. There's two different, when you take the housing market, you break it up in two. You have new builds, which are completely falling apart, and the builders who are just there to make money. It's a profit and loss. They're stopped building and they have a poor outlook. And then you have the resales, houses that are already built that are being resold over and over. Those are hot. So when you combine the markets together, you have a fairly hot market. But if you were to pick and choose which pieces of information you want to get out, well, then you run into whether you are bearish or bullish on the real estate market. See, if we look at it year over year, they're predicting anywhere from 10 to 15% over last year's market. And this is the resale market. This is extremely important. The world is not collapsing. We're not in a housing recession. In fact, we're continually seeing buyers buy up homes, snatch up homes here in Southern California, and there are multiple offers and they're going over asking. I have several buyers that are beating me down, wanting to look at homes. They continue to write offers and we continue to get beat out by over asking other buyers that are over asking. Now I have listings. All my listings have multiple offers on it. I have a new listing coming up in Moreno Valley here. Hope to do the same thing on that. But we're really excited about it, and this is what we're seeing. Now, if we want to see the flip side of the coin, let's jump into the next article here. Also from CNBC, it says home sales decline may show a worse than anticipated housing recession. Now, hold on. Let me get this straight. If we're up 10 to 15% year over year, and the last numbers I saw, which were in May, we were up 20% year over year. How are we in a recession? We're not even down over last year. We're up from last year. That means your house, if you bought it 12 months ago, is worth more today on an average across the United States, is worth 10 to 15% more today. So what does that actually mean? If I bought a $500,000 house, that means my house is worth $550 to $575, even up to $600,000, and that's considered a recession? Come on, people, let's get down to it. It's all about, backwards looking in a very short window that we're coming up with this information. It's not reality. Reality is boots on the ground. It's not looking at a number that happened, 45 days ago that only reflected a 30-day moment in time out of the 190 to 200 days this year. Ridiculous. Let's not taint that. Let's go back and notice that we are in a hot market right now, and the Fed is struggling to figure out what's happening. Let's jump into this. Inflation falls for the first time in more than 2 years. Key U.S. gauge shows due to sinking gas prices. Well, let's just be very frank and honest. Yes. So, beginning of 2021, inflation was at 1.6%. It's just gone up and up and up and up every single month for 18 consecutive months. Yes, it did fall because after we were at 42-year highs, now we fell to 40-year highs. But it's due to sinking gas prices. Why? Because the federal government came in and took the strategic reserve and they're doling it out, and we're going to be empty next month. So they're manipulating the market. OPEC just came out and said they are not going to put out any more oil, and in fact, they're cutting down oil. Yet we're seeing the federal government just dump our reserve onto all the gas stations out here so they can lower it. And this is just in time for, yes, you got it, guys, the elections. Once we're out of it and we have to start buying and relying on dirty foreign oil, then we're going to see these numbers go up, and I think we're going to see them go up dramatically in November and December, and we're going to be in the dump again back in the fourth quarter. So it's being manipulated at this moment, and this is not good. We just know that we're going to dump. I mean, right now we're at 1985 levels for our strategic oil, reserves, and they were full when 18 months ago, and now they're almost depleted. We'll be out of it in September. Next article. Let's jump more into housing. I know that all the Fed and CPI, it's all related to housing. It's the first thing that's a collateral damage when the Fed raises rates. But I mean, this is what I also talk about all the time is rents. And the biggest portion of the CPI is made up of rents. And I've been a big proponent, as most of us in our real estate industry is saying, that those numbers are cooked. They're not real numbers. 33% of the CPI is made up of housing, and those numbers are so much lower than what we continue to see from the national, associations out there. Rents just set a new high, a new record high, but that's also good news. Well, it's good news, obviously, for landlords, of course. Over last year, there was quite a lot of areas in the United States where you couldn't even raise rents. And in fact, right now, there's still areas in the United States, including, in LA, where you can't raise rents. So they're holding back rents, which is ridiculous to even look at a CPI, which is being manipulated by, state governments and the federal government on making sure that rents aren't going up, which is the largest portion of the CPI. Ridiculous. But the places where you do rent, they're going through the roof, which is about 85% of the United States. Let's jump again, and this is economists have a strange new buzzword. Guys, there's a new buzzword now. I don't know what economists, are talking about. I don't hear this word, but now it's called balanced. And I don't know if it's a trendy word that's come up. I know that none of my friends say, dude, are you balanced, bro? Is your market balanced? No, we don't hear that crap. What we hear is, how's your market? Is it hot or cold? Is it bull or bearish? Those are the hip things to say. We're just not in the new hip area where balanced is the place where we're all talking about. So we'll keep that as a word. We're going to stick it in my back pocket, and we're going to bring it up another day when someone actually comes to me and talks to me about that word. I think Emmy likes that word. It's a personal. I think she actually wrote the damn article. All right, let's get into the interest rates. Saw really a very, very crazy day yesterday. Of course, conventional and FHA just didn't really move. They were pretty flat, but wow, 15-year conforming went down 12 basis points and 20 basis points on the 30-year jumbo. I mean, talk about a roller coaster, guys. Hang on tight if you have a jumbo loan, because it's going up and down like a mad person. And so we're going to see this happen, I think, for the next 45 days or so, or until, the Fed actually meets, which is about 30 days from today, a little over 30 days today. And if they come out punching and swinging with a 75 basis point raise and saying how, they're still going right after a 2% CPI number when we're still in the 8s, I mean, we might see a very, very dovish feel on the crypto market and on the stock market turn really into hawkish, bearish feeling to it. I don't know. I think it's a little bit early. I think there's still going to be some manipulation. We're still a little bit out from the elections, but until then, I think that we're going to be kind of in that holding pattern where these rates are right here, and it just, one guy gets a, hair up his fanny and then, raises rates like crazy and they all follow. And the next day, he comes home and his wife's happy and smiling and makes some dinner, and then he lowers rates. It's just been this huge roller coaster. We're not sure where it's coming from or why it's so dramatic. the drama, but it is. So, well, guys, thank you very much for joining me. I know you've missed me. Hey, I've seen the comments, the whole Ryan thing. Yeah, his hair, yeah, whatever. It was bad, but I am back. I am back and going forward with you. I will have an opinion piece for tomorrow. Check us out. You guys take care. Peace.